Hello lovelies, Rotting Jack Fox here. I'm sorry if I have not been posting. I'm gonna continue what if Deku had emotions as a quote unquote quirk. So basically where I left off is when Inko got arrested for abusing her child. Hasashi admit that he was not part of Izuku's life, and people put two and two together, don't mind us, that Deku did not have a very well childhood. And because of Katsuki's rumors at middle school and kindergarten, Deku is put in like this bad spotlight. And because of all my yelling at him, Deku hates he doesn't want to be a villain, but he does want to be a hero, but he doesn't want to be a hero like All Might. He wants to be one that could show more attention to quirkless people than All Might. And All Might does get like a dream of this with the other successors and Nana. And they basically kind of scold him for being rude to a person who wanted the dreams of being a hero a reality. And because he's number one hero, he probably screwed everything up for that child. All Might doesn't take this all in, but he does believe that it was his fault that Deku is in this situation. But he wants to make it up to Deku, but since Deku doesn't like All Might anymore, yeah, that's gonna be hard. So basically, the last video I said that Sasha, I hope that's her name, I'm saying her name right, that she has a water manipulation quirk. I'm gonna change it into a machine manipulation, or I'm gonna put the boss's suggestion from the Enderman what if into this what if, cause I feel like her character mainly revolves around Deku, cause Deku does take care of her. Well, mainly his emotions take care of her. Hold on. And also, I'm gonna change blue sadness Deku's representation of sadness from a teardrop on his face into a water droplets all over his hair, like water droplets close to the bottom of the head, close to his chin. Basically, Sasha does like get concerned of sad Deku because he does not leave his room whenever she tries. Okay, so intelligence does teach Sasha how to control her quirk, and the other Dekus do help out, but since they are vigilantes, they do have to do a lot of things while Sasha is asleep because they don't want to get caught while Sasha is awake by Sasha. And there has been rumors of this group of vigilantes that are like moving around at night, like going and stopping a lot of things before heroes could even do anything. And they called them the Fantastic. Hold on. People started calling them the Fantastic Seven, because there's seven people, as one person suggests. But other people think it's just one person, but they're moving so fast that it looks like there's seven. So that's a problem that Deku emotions have to deal with. Ow. So Hasashi is like going around looking for Izuku, but since Izuku is being hunted down by both parties, he's having a hard time because heroes are trying to get information out of Hasashi, because he's asking people if they've seen Izuku or anyone with the exact same look as Izuku. And heroes want the information that Hasashi holds because they think he's holding way more than anyone knows. But he's not. He just came back from overseas, as Hasashi does like continue doing work, fix up the apartment, as he does like try to contact Izuku at any means necessary. He just goes to his wife's friend Mitsuki's house, aka the Bakugo household. And Bakugo does answer, and Hasashi does ask, "Hey Bakugo, Can I talk to your parents? Oh, hey, uncle. No. As Bakugo does slam the door at Hasashi's face, as Hasashi does hear like yelling from Mitsuki, yelling at Bakugo saying that that was rude, let your uncle in. Bakugo does talk back to her, and she does slap Bakugo in the head, telling him to go to his room, and that he's grounded. As Bakugo did make plans that day to go out and with his posse making fun of people who are quirkless, but failed because he is now grounded. Well, he does try to sneak out, but Mitsuki and his dad do catch up to him. And the thing is, I'm gonna make Bakugo's dad a little bit more outgoing than he is in canon, so a nice shy guy. He is nice, but he's not that shy and as in canon. So Mitsuki does like talk to Hasashi as well as his best friend, aka Bakugo's dad. Yeah, I'm gonna make Bakugo's dad and Hasashi best friends. Basically, they do talk about what happened, and they did see on the news that Inko was arrested, and they did ask Hasashi what was all that, and he did explain everything about it. And Bakugo's plan failed because he was gonna go talk to Inko and make up bad rumors about her son to her. But she's now arrested as Bakugo. And the thing is, Bakugo's parents do know that Bakugo's spreading rumors, and they are trying their best to stop these rumors. But since Bakugo's friends won't listen, the resort is Bakugo's dad and mom are being a bit harsh on Bakugo because they caused his childhood friend to leave forever, as they think. As they do put the blame on Bakugo because technically it is Bakugo's fault as well as All Might and Inko. It's all three of their faults, and Bakugo is not regretting what he did, thinking that Izuku's just weak, he could take him down anyway. As Mitsuki does like threaten, well not threaten Bakugo, basically tells Bakugo that he's not going into UA if he does any more rumors about people who are not strong as him. And that he's a bitch, which is basically understandable because Bakugo is being a bit harsh. Well, not even a bit. He was like torturing Deku. Basically, Deku emotion party does take care of Sasha, and a lot more things happen that causes Deku's emotions go a bit haywire. Basically, sadness is like flooding his room, and anger does have to go in there sometimes and calm, like joy has to go in there and calm sadness down, while anger puts out as much water by turning it into steam as he can. While anger does get more furious, and joy has to like go over to him and calm him down, while sadness put out a lot of fire that anger did. Oh shoot, am I bleeding? Oh shit. Hold on. Okay, so basically, after all that, Deku does like put on a disguise. Well, Joy basically puts on a disguise and enrolls himself into UA under a fake name and a fake quirk. As the others do want to go in, but Joy does say we have to change into another. One of us has to go in there, act like one person, and then the other guys have to change into that disguise for they could go on to UA. But there is gonna be a problem because Joy did not explain the quirk as well as he could, so they think, oh, this person has this and this quirk and doesn't know that the emotions I have to rely on what Joy said for they could at least try to figure out a way for they could go in and act like Joy a bit for they could do what they can. So I'm gonna skip to the entrance exam, and people are like, well, Joy is disguised as a different person with the help of love and intelligence. Basically, Joy does go in there, and he does hear like people talking about how you say, they are talking about kind of Deku and how he's a bad person, and Joy does get a little sad about this because Joy is we are Joy thinks we are not a bad person. We are good. It's just people view us in the light. And this has been broadcast into like outside of the into the other Dekus. Like he's talking to the other Dekus while far away. So basically, Joy does get stopped by a guy with blonde ash hair, which is basically Bakugo. Uh, Basically Bakugo does like tell him to leave or move out of my way, because he thinks he's all high and mighty, even though Mitsuki and his dad and Hasashi are trying to pull him down from his high horse and tell him he's not even good as All Might. Basically, they do tell him that, but he doesn't try. He tries not to let it get to him, so that's why he's training a lot. And the thing is, Deku's emotions do have like their kind of limits, and they do train, so that's how they are built up into a body mass. So basically, Deku does like walk in, and people do see like this device, which is kind of the exact same device as the wanted people, but he says that's just how he was born with this mask. With this is his mouth, as they all like let it slide for a bit, as Deku is like not talking because this thing is in his mouth. So bada bing bada boom, I'm gonna skip to the fighting portion of the exam because this Joy Deku is not as smart as intelligence, but is smart. Like all the Dekus are smart, but not as smart as intelligence. So, ow. Okay, so basically, Joy Deku does like start stretching, and he like starts like bending his body in a certain way, which is kind of disturbing. But people don't like look at it weirdly, thinking it might be a bit of flexibility, or maybe it's just quirk, as Joy summons in a weapon. As people are like concerned, as Ida does point out that he's not supposed to bring weapons, as Joy explains that this is his quirk. He could summon weapons, but it has to go into a design. As Ida does like look at him weirdly and then leaves a bit later, as Joy pulls out a bow and arrow, saying, okay, I gotta concentrate, as Deku starts breathing in and out, trying to calm his nerves because he's very stressed at the moment, because if he does not get this in, the other Dekus will kind of not be happy, because their dreams is to go into UA and go fight what is right. Don't put people into this light. Basically, that's Deku's motto. Don't put people into a certain light. Yeah, that's Deku's motto. Never put someone into a certain light. Basically, what happened back then with Bakugo, he does not want for other people, so he's gonna be a kind of beacon of hope and light, showing that people could be a hero if they want to be, no matter if they have a villain quirk or they're quirkless. So Deku does like go in there and shoots a lot, and I mean a lot of 3 pointers, 2 pointers, and 1 pointer until he hears a scream. Sorry guys, I have to cut it off there, so this is gonna be a part 3 maybe, I forgot.